What's up, everybody? I know it's been a while, but since Batman movies came out, I got some requests to do the greatest trilogies of all time. So that's what I'm going to do. Only it's going to be trilogies and any movies that are more than just a trilogy. So you can have 4 or 5 movies in the series and it'll still count, but we're calling it trilogies. Oh, yeah! This list was extremely hard to put together. I have so many different movies that I wanted to put on it and take off, and I haven't seen some trilogies that I need to. So if I didn't get to your trilogy, it's probably because I haven't seen it or I just didn't like it. Now, this isn't the best trilogies of all time. This is my opinion on, it's a mix between my favorite and the best. It's kind of a both. I have to like the movie and I have to think it's a really good movie also. So it's got both. So here we go with the honorable mentions. I'm going to read the honorable mentions off of a list I have here because, I mean, there's quite a few and I just don't want to remember it. So here we go. So we got Mission Impossible did not make my list. The X-Men movies did not make it. Men in Black did not make it. The Matrix trilogy I almost put on, but the second and third one are so bad, but the first one was so good it almost made it on there. The Transformers trilogy, duh. I got Spider-Man. Of course, it's not going to be on my best trilogy of all time. Pirates of the Caribbean, that one was almost on there. I had to leave it off. Die Hard. I had to leave Die Hard off because I've only seen the first Die Hard movie, and even though I know it would be on this list, it's not going to because I haven't seen them. So it'd be kind of hypocritical to put it on there. So that one's kind of question mark. Lethal Weapon trilogy, I've only seen the first one of that. That might be on there too. Underworld, which I really wanted to put on there. Jurassic Park, oh, that was close. I wanted to put that one on there. The Oceans trilogy. And the last one that I really wanted to put on was Rocky. I had to leave Rocky off, mainly because I wasn't a big fan of the Rocky movies. Personal opinion, I just never really liked them that much. They're good, didn't like them that much. So here we go with number 10. Number 10. Okay, number 10 is one I'm going to get a lot of crap for because I personally did not love the movies. I liked them a lot for what they were, nothing more, and that's the Bourne Trilogy. I'm not a huge Matt Damon fan. I think he's a great actor. Not a great fan of his work. So it was kind of up and down. He has great movies like The Departed. Loved him in that. He was good in this movie. Actually really good. Just, for some reason, I didn't really like the trilogy. I don't know why, but it's at number 10. Number 9. Number 9 is a trilogy I need to rewatch, and I think I'll like it a lot more, but that's Back to the Future. Now, Back to the Future, I've heard from a lot of people, is like one of their all-time favorite movies. It was great. It changed cinema. Yeah, it probably did. When I watched it, I really didn't like it. That was a while back, so again, I need to rewatch that one, but I have so many movies to watch, I couldn't really rewatch all these movies before I did this video. I had to come out with it now. Number 8. Number 8 is one of those that has more than just 3 movies in it, including the newest one, Prometheus, and that's the Aliens trilogy. Alien, when it came out in, I believe, '79, was phenomenal. Okay, that movie just blew my mind. And of course I did not watch it in '79. How old do you think I am? Sigourney Weaver nailed the role. I didn't like her until I watched those movies and I was like, okay, she's a really good actress. Everybody else in those movies was just good. The suspense was just really good. I'm not a huge fan of scary movies, but the suspense in these movies was just top notch. Ridley Scott, top 5 movies of his, for sure. It was second best Alien movie I've ever seen behind District 9, which they're completely different, so in sense of this kind of Alien movie, yeah, Alien was top notch. Then you got Aliens came out. That was directed by James Cameron. If you know me, I'm not a huge James Cameron fan. There's some of the movies I like of his, some I don't. Did not like Titanic, did not like Avatar. So Aliens, I did like. So when I went and watched it, I was like, okay, what am I gonna like? Is it the good James Cameron from Terminator 2 or the bad James Cameron? And it was the good James Cameron. I mean, this movie was action-packed, ton of action, just blowing aliens up, and Sigourney Weaver was back. Awesome. Good story, good acting. Loved it. I haven't seen Alien 3, 4, or any of those, but I did see Prometheus, so I considered this countable. And even though Prometheus, if you watch my video, I did a review on it, I didn't like it really that much. It was extremely well done. One of the best movies of the year for sure when it comes to quality. For sheer enjoyment, I really didn't enjoy it. But quality-wise, it was good. So those first 2 are the main reason it's on this list at number 8. Number 7. Now, number 7 is one I wanted to put a little higher, but just couldn't, and that's the Terminator Trilogy. Terminator 1 and 2 are phenomenal movies. When they came out, they were just top-notch. Terminator 1, I don't remember the exact year it came out, in the 80s sometime. It was just phenomenal. Loved it. Schwarzenegger was awesome. And then Terminator 2 came out, and the action in that movie is just phenomenal. Again, that's a James Cameron movie. Both those are. And I liked them both. Those are my probably top 3 James Cameron movies of mine, are those 2. So, I mean, I really liked that movie. Second one especially, I'm not going to say it's one of the best action movies of all time, but I'm definitely going to say, for a robot movie, very, very high up on the list. Now, the third one was kind of but, I mean, it's still pretty decent. Number 6. Now, number 6, some people might hate me for, but that is the Indiana Jones Trilogy. Yeah, I said trilogy. 3 of them. Number 1, 2, and 3. The 4th one was never made, people. Okay? Still mad about that. Raiders of the Lost Ark is considered one of the greatest movies of the 80s. It was actually up for Best Movie of the 1980s by the Film Critics Association, but it got beat out by Raging Bull, rightfully so. Raging Bull was phenomenal. Raiders of the Lost Ark was just awesome. And then the second one, I really didn't like Temple of Doom. And then the third one came in, The Last Crusade. It was awesome. So those first and third one are the main ones that are carrying this into the 6th spot on my list. They're just awesome movies. If you have not seen Indiana Jones, go watch them. They are so good. Number 5. Number 5 on my list. Now, number 5, I have to confess here, I have not seen the third one in this trilogy, so that's going to be the one that I haven't, but from what I heard and how much the first 2 I liked, I'm going to throw it on this list, and that's the Toy Story Trilogy. Yeah, I haven't seen the third Toy Story yet, because I was leaving for college. My mom didn't want to watch it with me. Yeah, you can see why, but I know a lot about the movie. I know most about what happens in it, so from what I've understood, it was phenomenal. The Toy Story Trilogy is like greatest animated trilogy of all time. You can't even argue that. It was so good when it came out. The voice acting is just phenomenal. Pixar at its finest. And even in between Up and WALL-E and the new one Brave, they throw in Toy Story 3 and it's like, where did this come from out of this pile of junk? You know? I know, Pixar fans like WALL-E. Piece of trash. Anyways, Toy Story. Great trilogy, and it's at number 5 on my list. I almost put it at number 4, but I couldn't. Number 4. Now, number 4, yeah, it's pretty awesome. And that is the Godfather Trilogy. Starring Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Robert Duvall. I mean, great acting. In my opinion, The Godfather is the greatest movie ever made. That's what my list, when I made my 10 greatest movies of all time, The Godfather was number 1. So, I mean, I couldn't pass it up. Godfather Part number 2 is also in my top 10. It's like at number 8 on my list. So, you can't not put this in your top 5 because the first 2 were so good. The third one, not so much. Still a great movie, though. But the first 2, if you've not seen The Godfather, it's a classic. It's a must-watch. It's slow. It's long. The second one especially is really long. But they're so good. The story, the acting, the music, the cinematography, everything about it. The few action scenes that are in it are so well shot that you don't need more action. It's just phenomenal. That's at number 4. Number 3. Now the top 3, you could change all 3 of them and I would be completely okay with it. But I had to do it in this order just because I like the number 1, number 2 more than I like number 3. And so number 3 is Star Wars. Now I'm talking about the original 3 Star Wars, the actual good 3. And when Star Wars came out, it was mind-blowing how much it changed the way that movies are made and how good it looked. I went back and watched the old VHS version, so like the non-redid version, or whatever you want to call it, redone version, I don't know. The non-new version, and it was phenomenal still. I mean, yeah, you could see a few parts where you could tell the glider was hanging by string, but, you know, for in the 70s, that looked really good. So, Star Wars, the first, second, and third Star Wars, or 4, 5, 6, are considered 3 of the greatest movies. Top 50 all-time movies, for sure. At least 2 of those are in the top 50 of all time. Great movies. You cannot pass up watching Star Wars if you haven't seen it. If you have, then congratulations. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Number 2. Number 2, I had to do it this way just because I like number 1 just that much more. And number 2 is Christopher Nolan's Batman Trilogy. I could not have thought up a better Batman trilogy. Actually, I didn't, because I was mind blown every time I watched one of those movies. The first one I watched, I did not watch it in theaters, I just watched it on DVD. I was like, this is a superhero movie? Wow. The second one came out, and the Joker just blew my mind. I mean, stole the show. You all know how good it was. I have another review on that. Go look into that. Phenomenal. Blew my mind. And how are they going to make the third one better? The Dark Knight Rises cannot be better than that. Boom! They I'm not going to say they passed it in bad quality, but they matched it. The Dark Knight Rises was solid, as good as they could have made it. Ah, man, great trilogy. And it's actually probably more of an actual trilogy than the one that takes number one, which you all should guess what it is by now. But Nolan, the way that movies are all intertwined, and there's things he says in the first movie that connect with the last movie. Oh, just awesome. Number one. Now, number one, if you haven't guessed by now, is The Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie of all time. It's hard to pick it as a trilogy because they were all filmed at the same time. So it wasn't like they had to make the second one after the first and then the third one after the second. It was just all made and then they just split it into 3 pieces. That's pretty much what it was, but I'm still going to count a trilogy because it came out 3 times. So, it is favorite movies of all time. I will do a review of The Lord of the Rings closer to when The Hobbit comes out. I need to rewatch them before I do the review. And I want to get better at my reviews before I do that one because it's my favorite movie of all time. So, duh. So that's what I got. Please let me know what you think. What do you think should have made my list? What shouldn't have? What's your favorite trilogy of all time? Let me know in the comments below. Please subscribe and share this video to all your friends. Subscribe to me on Facebook. And until next time, peace.